Hey y'all, I keep filming so early in the morning and my video last Wednesday was blurry for like the first 5 minutes of the video, and I think it was the lighting. So I opened a window, hopefully it's better this time and I'm not just out of focus. It looks fine to me, but it also looked fine last week. So we'll see. But I'm back and I have more of your Let's Not Meet stories that I'm so nervous to read, you guys. I don't know what is going on with you guys, but these seem awful as per usual. But like this first story says, 17 years stalking me. Let's not meet again in the future. 17 years. Hey, I love your videos on YouTube. Hearing the stories and knowing I may sound completely crazy, but knowing I'm not the only one who has a stalker, I thought I would tell you about mine. It's a very long story, and I do have a lifetime of paranormal events too, if you would like to hear them, of course. Little background. I have 9 older brothers, and I've always been small for my age, and mistaken for a child, and I'm hyper aware of everything. I'm 29 now, and this started when I was 13. I've always gotten on with people my brothers would introduce me to. From being a big family, new people are normal. Until I met, let's call him M for now. I quickly noticed he was a loner and didn't have many friends, so him being in my brother's year, I thought it would be nice, and I invited him to join us. He seemed nice and odd in a goofy way. Teenager me didn't think much of his oddness, and over time, I started to notice he was following me to and from class, arguing with my brothers and friends and other boys. Still, dumb 13-year-old me had no clue. Put it down to him acting like my overprotective brothers. I was so wrong, and pretty soon I started to notice M almost everywhere I went. He told me it was because he loved me and wanted me all to himself. What clued me into M's odd behavior were the gifts and pictures that would show up at my house. Then the texting and calls. And then he broke into my best friend Joe's house. So me and Joe last minute decided I would stay at her house for the night. Normal teenage girl night. We were up until about 4 a.m. and then we had fallen asleep with the TV and lights on, only to be woken up by Joe screaming bloody murder and M crouching on the side of the bed with a pillow in his hand and the light and TV off. It took Joe's dad to scare him off, and Joe only recently told me about how he knew I was at her house and how he had gotten in that night. She told me her neighbor's dog was found the next day in the back alleyway. I don't even want to know what this is gonna say. M had done unimaginable things to this dog. After my brother took us to his house, it still scares me to think about how close of a call that night was for me and how heartbroken the neighbor was. For a while after, I was not allowed to be on my own, so with 9 older, overprotective brothers, I started to feel somewhat safe, but I was wrong. M continued to follow me. It wasn't until a few weeks before my 16th birthday I would find out how far he would go. By that time, I was running out of sanity. I was home alone for a while, and I had not seen or heard from M in a few weeks, until he broke into my house and waited for me to come home. What I can remember from this night was getting in the front door and being slammed into the door. I wish I had listened to my gut. It screamed at me to turn around and run. I put it down to paranoia. I woke up in the hospital 2 days later with broken bones, cuts, bruises. I lost the ability to speak for a while too. Oh my God. I'm like tearing up. This is like, oh my God, this is horrific. After 2 weeks, I tried to go back to somewhat of a normal life with my, oh my God, sorry. After 2 weeks, I tried to go back to a somewhat normal life with my brothers babysitting me and redecorating the house and learning how to do things again, school and all the fun teenager stuff. Still to this day, I can't remember the whole night, just bits and pieces. I got told by a police officer and therapist and doctors that I was lucky to not remember that night because it meant I could probably have a normal life. Lucky or not, I don't feel safe on my own, and the nightmares of reliving that night are enough to keep me up for days at a time. M is still out there and pops up from time to time. Literally how? And I would love to be able to say let's not meet, but my crazy stalker and I met almost 17 years ago, and I'm still not free of him. How? I'm like in shock. Maybe one day I will be, but for now I hope we never meet again. I have no words for that. I'm so sorry. That is, I mean, seriously? I don't even understand how he's still free in the world. Oh my God. Oh my God, I told you guys these were gonna be bad. Sometimes I have like a feeling that these are gonna be worse than normal. That one, I mean, quite literally made me cry. So I am so sorry. Holy shit. We're gonna move on from that one though. This says, to the creepy Airbnb house owner who stalked me when I was 15, let's not meet. This happened about 6 years ago. For some background, my family always used to rent a cabin-style house in North Carolina every summer to escape the Florida heat and to visit family. We are an adopted and/or mixed family. Both of my parents are white, and my brother and I come from different parts of China. That year, we chose one that had a porch looking down onto a steep hill and a cozy, almost homey interior design. There were 3 bedrooms, 2 guests, and 1 master. The kitchen had an island, and there were nice brown leather couches with a flat screen TV in front of it. The home was located in a small community about 10 miles away from my aunt and 2 miles away from a grocery store and the rest of civilization. We decided to stay for 2 weeks. A week later, pretty happy with the choice of our Airbnb, we started the drive over there. We arrive a couple of days later and park in the driveway. As we're getting out, we were greeted by a kind-looking man in his 50s who showed us around the house and made pleasant conversation with us. He gave me a weird, creepy sort of vibe, but it was only me. So he was showing us around, saying the house creaks a lot and how the attic is off limits. A little while later, when he was showing us how to work the fridge and where utensils were, he turned to me and said something that haunts me to this day. "Ah, you're just like my daughter was, so young and yet so mature." It creeped out both my mother and me, but went over my father and brother's heads. He also wanted all of our phone numbers for safety measures and made sure we saved his number. We dismantled it as us being paranoid and went along with the mini tour. It was a good week later, and for the whole time, I dismissed the creaks above me, and I tried to ignore the sounds of footsteps sneaking about that I heard above me. We only had 7 days left in our stay, and I thought it couldn't get any worse, so I changed into my pajamas and crawled into bed, before staring at my phone and scrolling through Instagram. That's when I got a text from an unknown number saying, "Nice pajamas, wanna show me more?" It shook me to my core, and I deleted it as soon as I received it, hoping to God it was a prank or a wrong number text. Then I opened Instagram and continued to mindlessly scroll. A couple of minutes later, I got another text from the same number saying, "What, giving me the silent treatment?" I almost threw my phone against the wall before deleting it. I moved and restlessly slept on the couch that night. Oh my God, you guys, you're kidding. The text messages kept coming from him, and I kept deleting them. I found myself counting down the days until we had to leave, cringing every time I felt my phone vibrate as the messages got progressively more disturbing. When we had 5 days left, we had my extended family over, and I made a pie for them. While getting the pie out of the oven, I felt my phone buzz, and I was filled with dread. "That pie looks wonderful. It's just as sweet as you are." 4 days left, and we were just lounging around, and the messages were almost constant. Buzz, hey. Buzz, talk to me. Buzz, stop ignoring me. Buzz, buzz, buzz. On the 3rd day, we went to my cousin's sweet 16. I wore a red silk top and a black skirt. A beige bag rested across my body. When I got my phone out of my purse, it buzzed again. I love the outfit. It fits you perfectly. I can only imagine what you look like underneath it. 2 days later, we took a hike, and when we got back, my phone was buzzing constantly. Can't wait to get my hands on you. Take off the hoodie and get back in the shorts you wore yesterday. I liked how much of your ass they showed. I love Asian women like you. I hope you like me. This is so fucking disturbing. On the last night, I dared to go back into the bedroom. Carefully, I put on my pajamas and slipped into bed, terrified, but eventually falling asleep. I'm a pretty light sleeper, and it doesn't take much to wake me up, so when I woke up around 2, yes, I checked my watch for the time, I looked around and saw a masked man in my room. Oh my God, I don't know if I can read this. He was sitting on the edge of my bed, and I could feel him staring at me. I couldn't say anything, paralyzed with fear, as he went and climbed out of the bedroom window. He looked to be as tall as the person who owned the house. I got a text, "Nice seeing you." I moved to the couch and was awake for the rest of the night, too scared to sleep, and deleting the text because my parents checked my phone routinely and I didn't want to get grounded. I eventually told my parents about 2 years ago, and they told me to tell the police, so I called them. The police told me there was nothing they could do. How old were you at the time? You said you were 15, right? And there was nothing they can do. How long ago was that? I'm like, oh my God, fuck the police. So did the creepy Airbnb house owner who stalked me when I was 15. Let's never meet again. Edit, I'm so happy I woke up. God knows what he would have done to me if I didn't. You guys, oh my God. When I was saving these, I was like, oh, these are gonna be like bad. This is not what I was like. This is, oh my God, I could have never expected this. This might be like one of the worst videos for Let's Not Meet. Oh my God. I just cannot believe they told you they could do nothing about this. Like, that pisses me off. Because what the fuck do you mean? What is your job? I'm so sorry. What is your job? to protect and serve. And what do? Nothing, quite literally nothing. And like to end it off, my mom's experience with human trafficking, oh my God, I don't think anything could get worse. I don't know what to expect at this point. Hey Courtney, hey everyone. My name is Ace and I recently remembered a story my mom told me a couple of months ago. For some context, we live in a small town in northern Ontario, Canada. We have a small population and we don't really have a lot in our town. I can't remember exactly, but my mom was either going to her boyfriend, now ex-boyfriend's house, or she was going to get groceries at Walmart in a neighboring small town. Either way, she was about 30 minutes away. She was on her way home when she saw a car parked on the side of the road, with the door open and a man laying on the ground outside of it. Being the caring and concerned person she is, she pulled over to offer some help. She got out of the car and approached the man and asked if he was okay. He said, "No, I need help." She asked him what happened, to which he responded again with, "I just need help. Come over here." She was already standing fairly close to him, so this comment didn't make sense to her. She said, "Okay, I'll call 911, and went to pull out her phone out of her purse. While she was going to grab it, he yelled, "No, don't call 911, just come here and help me." At this point, my mom was obviously freaked out. She started to back away from him when he started to get up off the ground. This was the first time she actually got a good look at him. He had absolutely no sign of being hurt. No blood, no cuts, no bruises, nothing. She ran back to her car, and the second she got in, he started banging on the passenger side window and screaming, "Please help me." She started to drive away, and she saw him run back to his car and get in it. Thankfully, she got home safely, and he didn't follow her. Just to be safe, she called the police, told them what happened and where she saw him. They couldn't find him, and there has been no sign of him since. This story isn't super crazy. I don't know 100% that it was related to human trafficking, but it's still scary that this can happen in a town as small as ours. Everybody needs to be careful and aware of the fact that this can happen anywhere to anyone. Thank you if you took the time to read this. Please be safe. Isn't it so sad that we can just genuinely care about other people to the point where like you get out of your car just to check on someone, make sure they're okay, and that's the ploy. And they have horrible intentions when you only had good intentions. Isn't that so sad that that's the world we live in? Like you can't even be like fucking caring anymore. Those were the only stories I saved. This video might be a little bit shorter than normal, but honestly, I think we've had enough. At least I have. I can't even imagine reading another one right now. That's all I have for now, and I'm not even gonna say I hope you enjoyed because I hope you didn't. I don't even know what to say because I'm like, yeah, if you have any Let's Not Meet stories you want to share, yeah, please share them with us. But also, oh my God, you guys, like this is insane. Like they just get progressively worse and worse and worse. And I'm like so sorry that you guys have been through if you've been through anything like this. And to the people who submitted these stories, I'm like, I don't know what else to say besides like, I'm so fucking sorry. These were awful. I will have my subreddit linked though if you have anything you want to share with me or the community, but you guys, this world sucks. This world sucks. And I was gonna ramble a little bit at the end of this, but I just feel like that feels really inappropriate right now to read those stories and then talk about nothing of importance. So I'm gonna go, but I love you guys so much. And I wanna say really quickly, I really appreciate you guys sharing your stories with me. I really, really do. And I like feel, I don't know, I don't wanna say honored because I feel like that's a weird word to use, but to like know that you guys feel comfortable enough to share these incredibly traumatic things with me. I just like love that I've created like a safe space for you guys, and I really appreciate you guys. Like I love you so much. But okay, I will see you in the next one. Bye.